So this is just going to be a really quick video today. And it's just a little story, but a true story about what happened to me yesterday before the eclipse. And I mean, this is so strange. And, you know, I was proper freaked out, to be honest. I mean, it was one of the strangest things that's ever happened to me. So it started like, I've been doing a lot of research recently. I've been making PDFs and selling them on a website called PayHip. And the first two PDFs I made were about giants and the possibility of giants in the medieval times going up until the 17th and 18th and even 19th century. So, you know, I've been looking into all that. And I finished the second PDF on giants about a month ago. And I thought I'd just carry on, but this time I'll do one about demons and entities that they used to speak about in European folklore and folklore from around the world. So I've been doing this for a few weeks, researching about demons and strange entities and stories from the medieval times. And you know, I've been doing it for a few weeks. And yesterday I come across a European god, and I'm not even going to say his name, but I come across this god, a sky god from Europe, who was described as a shapeshifter. And I was reading about him, and I was reading all about his abilities and everything like that. And halfway through my reading, I felt like a drink, and you know, I got up to make a cup of tea, and there was no tea bags in. So I was like, I've got to go to the shop and get some tea bags. So I just left it. I left the computer screen on, and I just quickly ran to the Tesco up the road from me, and I picked up a packet of tea bags and a few other things. But when I was in Tesco, I was looking in the fridge at the dips like hummus and things like that. I was looking at that sort of thing, and this really old man comes up to me, and he starts talking about the eclipse. And this old man, the first thing that hit me with him was the smell. I mean, he stunk. I mean, no disrespect, and genuinely no disrespect, but the geezer absolutely stunk, and it was probably the worst and strongest smell of poverty, and that's what it smelled like. I mean, I don't know if you know what smell I mean, just that smell of extreme poverty, but it was so strong. It was like taking over the shop. And, you know, it was bad, the smell was. And I looked at this man, and his face was dirty, and his clothes were really dirty. I mean, it looked like he'd been wearing the same clothes for literally months and months. So his clothes was, like, dirty. And he asked me, you know, where the alcohol is. So I point him in the direction of where the alcohol is. And he's talking about the eclipse and how he's going to go to the park, the local park around here, and he's going to watch it and get a good view and everything. And, you know, so I carry on shopping. He walks off to get the alcohol. And I pick up everything I need, and I start walking to the counter, and I go to the self-service, and I scan everything myself. And I'm just walking out, and as I'm walking out, he's waiting in the queue. And he starts talking to me again, and he starts talking about the eclipse. I mean, he's so excited about the eclipse and how he's going to watch it. And I've never seen this man before. And, you know, I go to that shop quite a lot, but he's really excited about the eclipse. So I notice that when I walk past him, he's holding a bottle of cider, and he's also holding a packet of apple pies, Tesco's own brand apple pies. So I just walk out the Tesco, I'll just walk out. And even though this man was really friendly, and if anything, he was nice, at least in his behaviour, I just felt, for some reason, I just like thought, I've got to get out of here. And you know, I just walked off as quick as I could to get away from him. It was like a sense of weird panic for some reason, like that. I've just got to get away from him. So I did. I walked home quickly, and, you know, I walked really fast. And when I got home, I didn't think nothing else of it. You know, it just completely slipped my mind. I made myself a cup of tea and everything like that. And then I come back down to reading. And all of a sudden I start reading that this God that I'd just been reading about previously, I mean, literally the next paragraph goes on to describe how this God sometimes disguises himself as an old man and tests people's attitude towards them as an old, really poor beggar. Now, this man didn't beg, to be honest, when I was in the shop, but he did single me out properly. Like, I mean, it's like, I mean, I was watching him walking around the shop, like, you know, because I was just looking at him, and it was like nobody else even noticed he was there. It's like he just clung to me and he just spoke to me the whole time, but the smell was so atrocious and stuff. I mean, I could literally still smell it on myself when I was walking down the street in the fresh air. I mean, you know, it's hot, but in the fresh air, I could literally still smell him. It was like the smell had stuck to me, and I'd only been in his vicinity for a few seconds, really. You know, not even a minute, or tops a minute. So that was just really fucking strange, you know. And then, just to make it even worse, I mentioned to AI, because I'm putting all this in AI, I'm reading all these things and I'm putting it in AI, like, and stuff. And I mentioned to AI that he had apple pie and cider, that he went and bought cider. And AI even then goes on to say that this god is actually connected to protecting the apples on certain seasons, for making it rain when it needs to rain and making it sunny when it needs to be sunny. And he is known to be fond of apples and cider, amazingly. And I mean, I read this, and I'm not even joking, yesterday. I mean, I know this might sound stupid, but my hairs was literally standing up when I was reading it. And even before I read it, I felt like I needed to get away from him. But when I read it, it was just like literal. Like, I couldn't believe what I was reading, to the point where I was like, it's just so much of a coincidence that it just makes me think it can't be a coincidence. And all this going on, you know, within a couple of hours before the eclipse as well. And that's what he was getting ready for. He's going to go and drink his cider. And AI even connected him to that as well, saying that, you know, because he was a sky god, he was actually responsible for certain events in the sky. So upon reading it all, when I got back, I thought, you know, I'll best be careful what I do. Apparently, according to the folklore, if I would have been like rude to him, I would have been cursed by him. You know, I would have actually been stalked, or whatever he does. I mean, I would have found out, and I'm glad I haven't.